I'll go over Akhet right now. Maybe I should take a look at Akhet's room. We've agreed to meet later to make sure everything is ready for the contest. I'm starting to know the Falcon. Something tells me he must be freaking out in this room. When I knock on his door though, the only response I get is silence. It's like he's not there. Looks like I could be wrong. Well, now I just had to find out where Akhet is hiding. Knowing him, I don't see him going off on his own into the city. So he's probably still in the castle. I guess it's time for me to search the place thoroughly. After about 20 minutes of going around and around, I only have the courtyard and gardens to search. It didn't take me long to realize that Akhet is not in the courtyard. Of course he's in the last place I looked for him. At least I hope so. I breathe a sigh of relief when I see him sitting on the bench. I approach him with a questioning look. You know I just searched half the castle for you, Eric. Why were you looking for me? Is there a problem? I was setting myself around my eyes before sitting next to Akhet. Everything is fine, Mr. Sure. I don't need an emergency to feel like spending time with my favorite bird. Your favorite bird? Yeah, technically you're the only bird I really know, but that makes you my favorite by default. You have my best smile, and he laughs softly, his beak half hidden by his talons. It's weird. He seems much calmer than I expected him to be. Although when I pay close attention, I can see him physically nervously and playing with his fingers. He's just trying to hide his stress, I guess. So how are you feeling? Not too worried about the contest? I'm absolutely terrified. That's not really the impression you've given me, if I'm being honest. You should have seen me an hour ago. I managed to calm down since then, more or less. Hey, you have no reason to freak out like that. After all, we delight the crowd with our song during the party. There's no reason we can't do the same during the competition. Oh, I know we can win. It's just that if I ever make a mistake, I'm not the only one who will suffer the consequences. I can make us lose. Both of us. Is that what you worry about? You don't have to stress about it, you know? But just avoid making mistakes. You didn't make any during the party. Even when we rehearsed, you did alright. I don't see why you would have any problem today. And even if gods only know by what misfortune we lose, even if gods only know by what fortune we lose, it's not the end of the world. Of course, I want to win, and I don't even consider defeat, but we have other options in the worst case scenario. I'm sure my old band will be absolutely thrilled to have me back, and who wouldn't want to welcome a talented musician like you? Here you see, we have other options, so stop thinking about what could go wrong. Focus on our goal. We're going to win. That's one way to look at it, I guess. Obviously, my little speech didn't really help. I guess what works to motivate me doesn't work on everyone. I do have other arguments on my side, though. Do you remember the conversation we had on the way to the capital? I'll be honest with you. I tried not to think about that day. Well, I mean before everything that happened, there was just the two of us. We thought about getting lost in the city streets looking for an inn. I think I remember, yeah, but I'm not sure why you bring it up. We can sleep here in the castle. That's not what I mean. We never really got a chance to visit the city together after that. I don't even know if you've been outside the castle walls. Not really, no. There you see, we could just go out and walk around on the streets, look for cool places. You want to do that now before the competition? No, obviously not. But once we win, because we will win, we can do this. One day, just you, me, and Phosphate. We'll visit in about a tavern with Pent in East Paw. Sounds like a good way to celebrate our victory to me. That sounds like a good idea. I suppose we can cheer ourselves up that way if we ever lose. Now that's the right way to look at it. I give him a little sort of tap for a laugh. He quickly joins me. I don't know how you always make me feel good in the face of hardship. That's my talent, no doubt. Besides, my job to make people happy. it would be the same if I couldn't do the same with my friends. It may sound so much easier than it actually is. Not really. Most of the time, what people need is entertainment, something else to focus on instead of thinking about their problems. If there's anything I'm good at, providing distraction for others, I force attention on myself to make them forget their problems for a while. If I show that I'm happy, people tend to follow me. Smiling is one of the best tools a bar of my kind can have. At first, I carry a big smile to prove my point. He returns it to me obviously more relaxed than he was at the beginning of our conversation. Guess you know what you're talking about. I always know what I'm talking about. In case you haven't noticed, I'm extremely knowledgeable in an awful lot of things. Because how could I have doubted for a second the wisdom of a rabbit coming out of a mountain village? I take a false offended look for giving him a friendly slap on the shoulder, which makes him laugh again. When we then spend some time simply talking about anything and everything. I think I did a pretty good job of soothing the falcon and it helped calm my nerves too. After our chat, Akhet and I head back to his room for our final preparations. The way, as much as I can be, I think. I'm worried about not knowing the reception hall. I don't know if I'll have the adjustments to the acoustics of the room. If it makes you feel any better, I think everyone has the same problem. It was off limits in preparation for the competition, at least since we arrived. I guess no one has a head start in this race then. There's quite a lot of people trying their luck. It's unlikely we will be the first to sing, rest assured. I give him a big grin till he responds nervously. There's not much more we can do at this point other than trust in our abilities. I know how good we are, and what we did at the party proves it in my eyes. Let's just place classes on ourselves. I don't see how we can lose. As we walk down the corridors of the castle, I can feel a very special kind of energy running through the halls. From time to time, you can hear someone's voice warming up or notes from music echoing down the hallway. The contestants we pass have nervous, excited, or focused expressions. The tension is almost palpable. And finally, we reach the entrance to the reception hall located in the heart of the Royal Castle. A small crowd gathers at the entrance, slowly entering the room. I can recognize most of the boys who attend the party. I also see a few nobles who seem almost lost in the group. We will always have an audience in addition to the judges. Not that I mind, it will be a good test to see if Akhet and I manage to please the nobility. We blend with the group before finally reaching the place where the most important competition of my life is going to take place. I must admit, I could hardly have asked for a better location. The reception hall is absolutely beautiful. The first thing to notice is its size. There are already about 50 of us present. I feel like the room could accommodate 5 times that number. The wooden floor is immaculate and has a slight shine to it. I imagine it must have been given a coat of varnish recently. As soon as I set foot on it, I know that dancing here will be a real pleasure. I slide on it just enough to allow me to make my moves, but never so much that I risk falling or losing control. A stage large enough to accommodate a whole band has been built in the center of the room. That's the kind of stage I want to sing on. Nothing to do with that one on the party. Right next to it, also raised on a stage, are 5 richly crafted wooden seats. That's where the judges will see it. I guess that's where the judges will sit. I wonder who the 5th is. What's most impressive, however, is what looms over us. The scene is composed of a series of stained glass windows, depicting the greatest moments in the kingdom of history. Wars, successions, weddings, and the center larger than all the others are 2 representations of the king's lust and aeon. The whole thing is absolutely superb, a work of art to the glory of philosophy. Also, as the sunlight passes through the stained glass, it colors the reception hall and people in it in dozens of different ways. I would kill for a blend of Olivia at that moment. What could I not do in an environment like this? So much light and color. I'm not the only one who had that idea. Out of the corner of my eye, I see several of my colleagues testing what they can do with their brains, making the light dance around, like an elm. Well, that's really something. I couldn't have said better myself. Now, I know I have to win, even more than before. I want to spend my life singing and dancing here. I smile like I've never smiled before at Akhet. It gives my smile back to me. This place is every bar's dream. How can I not be excited to play in this room? We're not just here for our love of the arts, though. It's time for me to get into the spirit of competition. I grab the Falcon's collar and start pulling him into the crowd. Hey, again? I'm securing us a good seat, but we can see the scene from everywhere. Maybe, but it's not the stage we're interested in. It's the judges. I want to see how they react to the other contestants. After all, they're the ones we have to impress. I arrived near the stage where the judges' seats are set up. I can see that I'm not the only one who had this idea. There are already people present here. However, I eventually find a space where I can fit quietly. No seats, unfortunately, but the place isn't really meant for sitting around. When I turn around to resume a conversation with the boy, I can see that he is still busy looking around the room. With that look of wonder on his face, he always looks like a kid. You don't have anything like that in Akhet, do you? Maybe in the capital, but certainly not in Akhet. And even then, I'm not sure. Generally speaking, we prefer subtlety and discretion, including our arts. Here when we do something, we give everything we have. I thought I noticed that, yes. Who could blame you when it produces results like that? If we feeling a pride runs through me as a cat plays my country, seeing that no matter what reputation we supposedly have, there are some things we can do better than others. But for now, the only thing to do is right. Which I do by chatting with my competition and watching my competitors. I'm pleased to notice the absence of Savannah or his band. They obviously decided not to come to the competition if it's just to attend. As for Astrid, I assume she is with the other nobles. She didn't give me the impression of someone who mingles with people when she can avoid them. Obviously flames or ice shoot up towards the ceiling where I can see the lights dancing in a unnatural way. It's like the other competitors are making some last-minute preparation with their plans. I can feel a hint of jealousy run through me. I really wish I had my plan before I came here. I don't think I necessarily need it, but I can't deny that it will add to my performance. But there's no point focusing on what I don't have. Let's try to stay positive. The procession hall fills up quickly. The distance of the contestants made spectators come to watch the competition. I have rarely had the opportunity to sit in front of such a large and diverse crowd. Personally, on a balcony far above everything, I catch sight of a tall figure with his answers sticking out. There's no doubt that the cat has come to watch the contest from far away. It is as I watch a group of nobles enter that I notice a change in brightness of the room. Not much at first, a simple detail. For a brief moment, the sounds of the room seemed to quiver. And then they stretched and shift, slowly moving up the walls, beginning to cover the stained glass windows to plunge the room to darkness. There can only be one explanation for this. Aeon is coming. Akhet, I think it's about to start. The bird doesn't answer me. Too busy watching the sound slowly devour the ceiling, and I can understand that it's not a sight you can see every day. The dark eventually covers all the windows. We find ourselves plunged into obscurity. Conversations follow silent, and there is a hush in the reception hall. Everyone wondering what will happen next. After a few moments, the sound of wood being struck on stone echoes through the room. I briefly lay my ears on my head, still not appreciative of sudden loud noises. The sound of thump is followed by the sound of a voice, clearly augmented by a brand of air, so that everyone could hear it. Boys and guests, welcome to Frostfact. A hole forms in the layer of shadow of the ceiling, allowing a streak of light to pierce through to illuminate the entrance. There stands a rooster dressed in dark clothing, the brand on his cheek glowing slightly. Judging by the staff in his hand, he's probably the one who made all that ruckus. I'm guessing he's the announcer of the contest. Now it's time to get serious. My name is Clovis. It is with great honor that I announce that I will be the master of ceremony of this contest. However, it's not me you'll have to impress, but our 5 judges who are in charge of electing the best among you. Know you are eager to show off your skills or to admire the best artists in our kingdom, so let's not waste any more time and let me introduce the members of the jury. He spins the staff in the hand before slamming it to the ground once more, sound echoing throughout the room. So, representing the courtesy of the 12, Lord Vo, High Priest of the Wine, Master Smith of the Realm. At least I didn't really expect a clergyman to be on the jury, especially someone connected to the wine. I have a hard time seeing what this has to do with the arts. Despite my eternal questioning, I join the polite applause of the crowd as Vo enters the room. The sight of the priest leaves me stunned. I feel as if every day that passes he introduces me to the strangers. I feel as if every day that passes here introduces me to strange new people. The clown looks pretty normal at first. He's a boy dressed in the traditional blue tunic that stretches the 12. However, it doesn't cover his arms, revealing his brand to the world. And that's where things get weird. Instead of being a simple panel in his fur, the 2 rectangles forming his brand on his shoulders appear to have been covered with a thin layer of shiny gray metal. Steel, perhaps? On top of that, there are countless droplets of metal, all different sizes, covering his arms and snout. The sight is striking, but it's clearly not natural. Someone must have done this to him. I can't imagine why. The idea that he could have chosen on his own to melt the metal into his flesh terrifies me. I look away, trying to get the image out of my hand. My gaze then follows on Akhet, gingerly caressing the gold under his eyes. It's true that it's quite similar, but there's something about the priest that gives an impressive brutality that lets you know that the operation was painful. Contrary to that, Akhet's gold band is impressed with their grace and the precision with which they were placed. The priest of Karain, after a brief pause, advances through the crowd, never glancing at them. The sounds on the ceiling slowly disappear. He makes his way towards the seat, allowing us to see him. He walks calmly to his seat, while hooking the hammer hanging from his hips to place it on the table. It looks like he takes his position as a blacksmith very seriously. The silence that follows is interrupted by a new thump from the rooster. Lord Tenok, ambassador of Kazal, the fire incarnate. Tenok enters in his usual style. A burst of flame shoots through the door before rising to the ceiling, while a wave of heat travels through the crowd. Can't help but roll my eyes as he enters. All smiles greet everyone. He waves to me as he passes me by before taking his seat as well. Finally, please welcome the royal family, Prince NeveN, the heir to the throne of Phosphate, our Lord King Lus, the architect, the healer, and lastly, our Lord King Aeon, destroyer of walls, conqueror of the realm, the living shadow. As the trio enter the room, I can't help but notice that NeveN's title is much stronger than the other judges. Even the priest has more than he does. Maybe it has something to do with his age, with the fact that his brand isn't impressive enough. Whatever the reason, it doesn't stop him from standing in front of his father, smiling at the crowd as he walks to his seat. Moreover, the difference between the arrival of the 2 bears and that of the tiger is striking. While NeveN and Lust merely give brief nods, Aeon makes a grand gesture with his paw, bringing a few nobles personally. Finally, they take their seats except for Aeon, who remains standing with a grin. He sets his gaze on the crowd, giving time for Clovis to join him. He then speaks out, the brand of rooster increasing the volume of his voice. As you know, since Lus and I ascended to the throne, our goal has been to rebuild Phosphate, to return the kingdom to its former glory. In just 20 years, we have achieved so much, thanks to all of our efforts combined. The tribes are now united under one banner. The time of eternal wars is over. We rebuilt the main roads and secured their passage. Bandit attacks are almost a thing of the past. I have to hold back a laugh. A thing of the past, really? On the main roads, maybe, but I know from first-hand experience that it's not the case for all roads. But now it's time to start rebuilding our culture too. That's why Les and I have decided to revive one of our ancient traditions and hire a royal bard. This bard will be in charge of our entertainment, of course, but more importantly, he will also be the embodiment of the arts in the country. That's why we want the best of the best. We also want to mention that the festival in honor of my son's birthday is fast approaching. What better opportunity to showcase the talents of our royal bard? He turns with a huge smile to Mabel, who looks away, trying to hide his embarrassment as best he can. I can understand why. It's pretty obvious that Aeon loves his adopted son, but that's maybe a little too much. So here's your chance. You will have a unique opportunity to demonstrate that you are the master of your art and to represent the entire kingdom. And when I say unique, that's not a figure of speech. You have one chance to convince us. One song. You have no room for error. After that, it's over. You want to be at the top? Prove to us that you deserve that spot. A silence ensued for a brief moment before a thunderous round of applause and cheers erupts. If Aeon's goal was to motivate the contestants to solve success, even I feel filled with new inspiration. One chance and no room for error. Now that's the chance I enjoy. I glance over to Akhet to see him gently clutching the handle of his lute between his talons. He meets my eyes. He gives me a brief smile coming by a nod. It's like even he is getting into the competition. Chloe takes the stage and bangs his staff on the floor again. The noise filling the room to draw attention to him. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to begin. I'll call each of you in turn. You'll have 5 minutes to get ready on stage and set up your instruments if necessary. Then, well, the stage is yours for the duration of the song. Try to impress the judges and the crowd. When your time is up, try to get off the stage as quickly as possible. The first contestant of the day will be Mr. Emil from Kawathan. The Sark I spotted at the party then moves forward to take the stage. He is alone, and he carries with him a huge drum. I guess he is doing the singing and the music at the same time. I once a bar said, "Well, brief pain shoots through the base of my neck. It feels like a rash thing, but it would be weird for that to happen here." I run my paw across the back of my neck and don't feel anything strange. The pain is gone. I just feel nothing. I must have moved wrong or something. Come on, Eva, let's focus. It's not time to hurt yourself or imagine things. The Sark then starts playing. It's good, but I doubt that's what the Kings are looking for. A little too brutal, I think. I listened to his piece though. Try as much as possible to pay attention. Whether he's my companion or not doesn't change one fundamental thing. He's an artist and he gives everything he has for the crowd. He deserves my respect and he deserves to be listened to. Once he's done, I turn to look at the judges, curious to see their reactions. They all flash polite smiles, except for Vogel, who has a stern look on his face. There won't be a piece of cake to their expressions. I also noticed the addition of a new person right next to Justice Point, Gillard. I'm not sure when he arrived, but I guess it's not surprising to see him here. Protecting the royal favor is his job, after all. And I imagine an event like this must be terribly stressful for him. Then the singers and bands come on, one after another. It allows me to confirm that what I had noticed during the evening. If no one is bad, there are a few groups that are really excellent. However, I have to admit that one duo surprises me. It seems that when not completely drunk the way I argued with yesterday morning is able to sing properly. I would even go as far as to say he sings quite well. Finally, after hearing 7 competing groups, the rooster announces was eagerly anticipating. And now Eric from Scarlet and Akhet from Lacan and McCann. I hear murmurs in the crowd. Perfect, that's the reaction I was expecting. I knew singing with a McCann would give us some attention. Akhet briefly strokes a gold under his left eye, healing all this. But brief my word that he will crack under the pressure, but he tightens his grip on the salute and turns to me with a smile. Shall we go? Let's tell him what we can do. You both go on go up on stage under the curious eye of our audience, but now everyone seems focused on Akhet. But I fully intend to change that. I walk to the edge of the stage, facing the judge, a big grin on my face. It's time to do what I do best. I take the last step to get into position. The pain in my neck returns. A brief spike of pain, and this time it doesn't go away. I wince for a brief moment before forcing a smile again. This is really not the time. Wherever this is, I can deal with it later. Right now, I have more important things to focus on. My kings, it is a great honor to see you again. Lord Mabel, Lord Tanakh, Lord Val, it is a pleasure as well. No doubt you will have the opportunity to hear many new and fantastic songs today. So I decided to present you with something more ancient and local, a hymn to the glory of Phosphine. Certain that will, I have no doubt, delight those who have given it back its splendor. I now briefly to Akhet to signal him to begin. Our preparation time is not over, but I still feel that pain in the back of my neck until we start the bear. When I hear the first few notes, I close my eyes for a brief second, take a deep breath before I sing. It's in the heart of my country, on top of this great snowy peak, that the elders would set us free. We the feeble, oh we the weak. Cast away, fallen from abroad. Take up arms, fight for your rights. In the tyrants may there be fight. Their cold corpses we pave the road. Phosphine, beautiful promised land, of freedom and happiness. Wherever your past or your brand, you will never fall in nothingness. And that's why we will never bend against the scales and the feathers. Without our chains and our tethers, our love for her will be your end. I pause for a moment, letting Akhet sign along as I watch the judge's reaction. Aeon seems rather pleased. I guess the song choice was. I suddenly feel like my back is exploding. The pain in my neck seems to extend to my tail. I can't breathe. Stop, please stop this. My knees give out, and I find myself on the floor gasping. I try to force air into my throat, but I can't. What's happening to me? Make it stop. Someone come help me, I beg you. Isn't anyone coming? As suddenly as it appeared, the pain in my back disappears so I can breathe again. But now I feel like my head is being split into two. I scream, nothing exists anymore except the pain. Make it stop. I can't take it anymore. Kill me if you want to. Make it go away, by all means. You know what? Maybe I'll go with you to Phosphine after all. Your hand pain is added to the rest. One's image comes to me for a brief moment. You sing well, kid, but I can't let you take the place of my lead singer song. A new spike of pain. What's happening? Regan said that. I've had enough. Kill the rabbit. My agony is intensifying, but it's not just affecting my head now. I can feel the cold still on my throat, cutting into my flesh. I don't know what to do. I just want it to end. Please, someone. Close my eyes. Maybe it will stop the images from appearing. Maybe I could just fall unconscious. Glad to see you finally figured out how to make money. Now take off your clothes. No, that never happened. I hope you like the place I picked for our honeymoon. I know it's not frustrating, but I want something quieter. Please stop. Suddenly silence. No more pain, no more images, no more voices. What was that? What the fuck was happening to me? Open my eyes. Maybe someone can help me. Explain to me. Make sure it doesn't happen again. There's gotta be someone who... What the... Face me suspended in the air and motionless inches from my snout is a piece of colored glass. I raise my hand and around me I see dozens of other swords and glass falling and immobilizing their fall. The stained glass windows above me are sad, and I don't know how or why. Its pieces are now stopped in mid-air. What's going on? My voice echoes through the room, and then I realize that there is complete silence around me. No one's talking, no one's shouting. I found no one is moving. Everyone's as still as a sword of glass around me. I can't still focus on this instrument. It's as if everything stopped when I fell on my knees, but it's impossible. I don't understand what's happening. Stop this immediately. Gillian, I'm not alone. Someone else can help me. You'll probably be able to explain what's He'll probably be able to explain to me what's happening. I turn to the path and I can see him walking quickly towards me. I should be reassured, but something is wrong. The sight of Gillian terrifies me even more than I already am. A brother's glow emanates from beneath the armor plate, covering his torso. His moves are abrupt, devoid of his usual grace. But the worst part is his gaze. His one healthy eye stares intently at me. He is furious. I told you to stop. I won't repeat myself. Gillian, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what's going on. The feline simply growls in response while continuing to move towards me. So to crawl backwards. I don't have the courage or strength to get up. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's wrong with me. And now this. It doesn't take long for Gillian to join me. I give him a terrified look as he towers over me with his full height. Deactivate your brand now. My Gillian, I don't. A violent pain in my stomach interrupts me as I'm propelled further onto the stage. I can taste the blood in my mouth. My breathing freezes again as I roll into a ball and suffer from the blow Gillian just landed on me. I barely feel the tears streaming down my face. I raise my hand briefly, hoping to calm the panther, but all I see is his paw rapidly pulsing my face. And then, nothing. The cat. Chapter 1. Sight. In the darkness that surrounds me, voice resound. Some familiar, some unknown, all incomprehensible. I don't know how long I've been here. Hours, days, weeks, maybe. I'm lost in the midst of this emptiness, plagued by memories that I'm unable to tell if I've truly experienced or not. Eric, wake up, please. I know that voice. I know that voice. I don't know whose it is anymore. But I know it, and it calls to me. I hold on to it, and I let it pull me. Maybe that's what will finally get me out of here. Eric, why can't I remember whose voice this is? It's on the tip of my tongue. I know who you are. I just have to remember. Eric, I can't. It's a cat calling me. I have to join him. I'm moving onward. I'm moving towards the voice. I don't even know how I'm moving. I'm just thinking about it. There's a light in front of me, just within hand's reach. I just have to stretch my arm and grab it, and then I can. Eric, oh Tesla be praised. You're awake. I can't. The pronunciation of his name scrapes my throat as if I were the most complicated word to say. If those it were the most complicated word to say, to make it even more unpleasant, the light in the room is so intense it almost feels like it pierces my skull. Where am I? I try to get up before I can feel something holding me down in my bed. What the? Are those chains? Am I tied to the bed frame? I can't. What the fuck's going on? Hey, calm down. It's just a precaution, okay? We just want to protect you. Protect me? What are you talking about? It's, I can't, please. Tell me what's going on. You should go and warn the majesties. I'll take care of the rest. Instinctively, I try to back away when I hear Gillian's voice. I also feel myself shaking slightly. The mere thought of him being near me terrifies me. When I catch sight of him standing in the doorway, I can't help but look away. Eric, I can't. Go and get the kittens. The falcon gives me a worried look before turning back to the captain. He shakes slightly. I don't know what's exactly going on here, but I don't like it at all. My cat finally stands in front of the panther, looking at him straight in the eye. I may not be excited anymore, but I remember what my father taught me. If you hurt him again, I will have to interfere. Did a cat just really threaten to kill him? Not that the bird is too impressive, shaking like a leaf in front of the armored panther. But he must have mustered up all the courage he has to do that. I don't know what got into him, but seeing him defend me like that is not necessarily something I'm used to. But it's something I appreciate a lot. I promise you, nothing will happen to him. I just want to talk. Fine, in that case, he turns to me and gives me a sorry smile. I'll be right back. Oh, okay, I'll be waiting for you. My most motivation, I wiggle my right wrist, jiggling the chain hanger on it. It's not exactly like I can walk around. I try to smile back at him, but I can't seem to put any conviction into it. It seems to be enough for him, though. He gives one last hesitant look in Gillen's direction before walking out into the hallway. Leaving me alone with the Panther. I have absolutely no desire to be in this situation, not now. Close my eyes, hoping for, I don't know what to say. I go back to sleep, maybe? But it seems like my mind wants to fight me again. All I can think about is feeling my ribs cracking in my body. I can still see his armored paw coming toward my muzzle. And who knows if he didn't keep hitting me after I fell unconscious. It didn't look like he was planning to stop. I'm sorry. I open my eyes again. I realize I'm sitting with my knees pressed against my chest. I don't remember getting into that position. I don't apologize for stopping you, but you were terrified. You clearly had no idea what was going on. I shouldn't have been so brutal. I don't answer him. I'm sure, I'm not sure what to make the apology. In fact, I didn't even expect him to apologize. On the one hand, I can understand it partially whatever happened looked like an attack on the royal family. But I had nothing to do with it. I don't even have a brand. And even if I did, I don't see which one could do something like that. If it helps you to forgive me, now that a lot of this is due to my own brand. When I absorb power, this is a side effect. It increases my aggressiveness to the point where I lose all control. If the brand affected me too powerful, yours almost drove me in. I don't have a brand. Did you really not realize what was happening? No matter how much I wonder about it, I can't figure out what happened. If I really got my brand, this is absolutely not how it normally happens. It disappears in our sleep. It disappears in our sleep. They're like that, and never with pain. That's what everyone learns. So why? Why would it be different for me? For the first time since the discussion began, I lift my muzzle to look directly at Gillian. Maybe he can explain to me. When I meet his gaze, I understand that it's a waste of time. He looks as puzzled as I am. Listen to me, Eric. He is interrupted by a large white paw landing on his shoulder. I think we can take it from here. Thank you, Gillian. Like kings, I'll be outside. With a nod, the panther exits my room, letting Aeon in, followed by Lusk. Two kings display a slight smile, with sleepy puzzle. Willing or not, it seems I destroyed part of their home and screwed up their contest. I'm not sure they should be smiling for that. I know I told you to impress us, but you may have gone a little too far. And this isn't really the time. I just thought a little human might. Never mind. How's it going? It takes me a few moments to realize that this time it's me the king is addressing. I'm good, I think, Your Majesty. No, I'm not good at all. Too many things are happening at once. Too many questions in my mind. Too many events that don't make sense. I flinch when I feel something rest on my shoulder. Turn my head, I can see that it's similar to Akhet's talents. He has offered me a reassuring look. I didn't even realize he came back. But in that case, I think congratulations in order. Congratulations. Because you have won a contest. You're not carrying now with Royal Bards. What? But I don't understand. They carry on with the competition? Not to mention that it's customary to congratulate someone when they receive their brand. Especially since it's not just any brand. You've got the lucky hand, kid. You're the first chosen of a forgetful one. A forgetful one? No. That's impossible. These guys don't brand anyone. That's the very reason of their name. I don't get it. This must be a mistake. No, we are absolutely certain of it. This is the only possible explanation for what happened. You received the brand of NeveN. It doesn't look like any other. I want to see it. I think seeing my brand, realizing that it really exists, will give me a better grasp of the situation. It will help me realize this is really happening to me. I guess you haven't had time to look at it yet. And being tied up certainly didn't help. Gillian, the key please. Gillian joins us briefly, handing something to the king. The lad then stands in front of me, catching my cuff upon his before giving me a playful look. And not planning on freezing everyone in time and leaving at once. I'll release you, are you? What? No, I don't even know how you last briefly before untying my wrist. In that case, get up. You're going to have a hard time seeing it otherwise. And stand up, I can feel my confusion slowly be replaced by excitement. It didn't happen the way I thought it would, but there it is. I have a plan that God chose me if I am too, and maybe I too am capable of magic. The king then presents me with a Lord's mirror, inviting me to look at myself, so I plunge my gaze to my direction. Oh, I guess I should have expected that. My torso is almost entirely dark blue, and even black in places. My left eye is also ringed this color. Gillant's blows left a mark. I had to focus on the more serious injuries first. Most of your ribs were broken in your muzzle. Oh, so you're the one who treated me? You don't call him the healer for nothing. He knows how to put his brand to good use. But I have my limits, and so does your body. It would have been dangerous to heal you further. You can always ask a priest to speed up your healing process when you train. What do you mean by when you train? You have to train your brand, which you still haven't seen, by the way. I'm starting to get a headache. There's too much going on at once. I can't keep up. I have to focus on one thing at a time. But now my brand, the rest can wait. I turn around to present my back to the mirror before turning my head to look. By the gods, it's huge, at least the size of Tanak's. My back is covered in intertwined circles, blending together. I've never seen anything like it. I almost feel like some of the circles are moving when I look away. It seems like they're not exactly in the same place anymore, but this confusion is probably due to the sheer number of them. I hope so anyway. I'm not sure what it would mean for my sanity otherwise. That's huge. Are you sure it's NeveN's? It couldn't be. I don't know. Alaria? Her brand's a circle too. Yeah, perfectly well it's not. I know, yeah, it's just that I don't even know what to say exactly, so I just stop at the first idea that pops into my mind. What am I supposed to do with this? When I'm singing, it's not exactly useful. There's a silence, then I hear Aeon burst out laughing while Lux just grins. You're the first one to see the brand of God of time, and that's what you worry about? Hey, this is important to me. I would die for a second, but there are more pressing matters to deal with. Your brand can change a lot of things. It makes you important and dangerous. But I don't want to be all that. Well, important maybe, but not dangerous. I just want to be aboard. We have 3 people injured because of the falling glass. If I hadn't intervened, there probably would have been several deaths as well. Aeon's tone is suddenly different, harsher. Whether you like it or not, you caused this, and there will be other instances you fail to control your brand. And when you control it, who knows what you'll be capable of. You may just be a barn now, but people change, especially when they have such great powers, and so we will give you the training you need. The best priest in the kingdom will help you develop your powers. Now, watch why. I'm not sure I like why I'm here, so I don't have a choice. Is that it? Where am I now? Prisoner? No, of course you have a choice. If you really want to go, we won't hold you back. But it took your entire day to wake up. All Frostfang already knows what happened. It won't be long before Kazal and Makar find out as well. Do you really think they won't react to your awakening if they find out you're wandering around in the wild untrained? Don't you think they'll send someone to convince you to join them? And unlike you, they won't give me a choice, right? No, they won't even let you talk. I turn to Akhet surprised. He doesn't even look at me. He's just sitting in bed, his eyes frozen on the floor. Makar is keeping an eye on everything interesting. Makar is keeping an eye on every interesting when that appears here. He learned that there is a powerful unprotected brand bearer they will send a capture team. You don't even have time to realize what's going on before you end up with a custody plate embedded into your body, unable to use your brand and deported to the capital. How do you? Once there, you will be handed over to the claws of a murderer. He will be tasked to break your mind and make you obedient. It may take a while, but they always get it done eventually. And once obedient, they will train you until you become nothing more than a weapon for the glory of Makau, the God King. He slowly raises his head and he grazes the golden lines beneath his eyes with the end of a claw. I saw it happen. I don't want you to go through this, Eric. Stay here, please. Tears running down the Falcon's cheeks. I don't know what he saw back home, but it's obviously scared him. Shit, Eric. Stop feeling sorry for yourself for 2 seconds. Take care of your friend. I sat next to Akhet, gently placing my palm on his shoulder. Hey, there's no need to worry about that, okay? I'm not the sharpest weapon out there, but even I'm not stupid enough to put myself in that kind of danger. Of course I'm going to stay here. Frostfangers were the best trainers in the country to be, after all. I've even met the priest at NeveN already. I'm sure he'll be able to help me. Thanks. Good. With that said, you will start your training tomorrow morning. Already? No reason to waste time, not to mention that you both also have to prepare for Mabion's birthday. You are our royal boys after all. Oh, with all that, I almost forgotten. I won the contest. I got what I wanted. I'm strangely having a hard time being happy about it. I didn't win it because I deserved it or because my brain awakened. It's just a good excuse. It's a good excuse to keep me in the castle. Not a real one. My thoughts are interrupted by someone knocking on the door. Turn my head to see who it is. I'm surprised to notice that protruding ears almost as long as mine, but also much larger. Finally, I catch a glimpse of what appears to be a rather elderly fennec. She is wearing an elegant, sober outfit and a hood cloak that stands in stark contrast to those in Aeon's more extravagant attire. For a moment, I see her deep yellow gaze linger on me, observing as if I were some sort of curiosity. I mean, now that I think about it, it's probably a curiosity. That said, as much as I like attention, I'm not sure I want that kind of attention. She then shifts her gaze back to the kings and bows quickly as if embarrassed to have gotten their presence. My lords, I am here for my report. From what reaches my ears, she is clearly not from here. If the words are perfectly articulated, she has a very strong Macaulay accent. He turns to us briefly, this time looking at Akhet with considerably less sympathy than I was given. If possible, out of hearing range, sighed. I'm not. Aeon raises his paw, silencing Akhet. We are done here anyway, Semi. Eric will send someone to guide you to the training grounds tomorrow. Don't try to use your brain in the meantime, please. We don't want another incident. I won't try anything soon, my kings. I don't even know how to do it anyway. Good. Send me to the council chamber. Without another word, the 2 kings and the family disappeared. I sit silently on the bed next to Akhet. I need a moment to fully understand all this. I don't know what to think. For the first time in a while, I'm totally lost. I'm a royal boy, but I didn't win the contest. Not really. I got branded, but it just makes me a target and a political tool. I will be known across the continent, but it won't be for my voice. It looks like a distorted version of what I dreamed of. It could almost be comical if I didn't ruin my life so badly. What if Mariani made a deal with NeveN? If this is her way of punishing me for what I did? If so, screw her. I don't deserve this. Why would you receive my punishment? Fuck that. I sprawled on the bed with a long sigh. Hey, Eric, is everything okay? Yep. Great. Everything is absolutely amazing and the best of all worlds. Don't be like that. Please talk to me. As I know, son, this is not fair on my part. It's not Akhet's fault. He doesn't have some of my bad temper. You know, I've been dreaming of this since I was 12. With your plan? Yeah, I want something to enhance my stage presence. Everyone always thought I wanted a brand of tissue, but I didn't. I didn't want an air brand. I feel like I was cheating. I didn't need one to sing as well. I didn't need one to sing well. What I've always wanted is hilarious, a light brand to add visuals to my songs. My mind kept a list of illusions and images to show all my classics. I smile at Kat, who simply listens to me as he looks at me with a small, sad smile. Diego got his brain at 13 and I was so happy for him. We celebrated for almost 2 days. We thought it shouldn't be long before my brain appeared as well. So I waited. Over and over again. 10 years, 10 fucking years, waiting for it to appear. And now I get this. At the worst possible time, when I have a chance to accomplish something great, the gods decided to stop me in my tracks. I want so badly to win this contest, Akhet. I never wished for anything as much as this, but I didn't win, and on top of that, I ended up with a brand I don't give a shit about. You're a royal bard. That's not nothing. You still have a job. But I didn't earn it. It wasn't just for the title. It was to show the world that I could do it, that I could be that I am, that you are the best. Of what I do, yes, the best thing in the country. And here I am, comfortably in the office, just the winner, while my biggest competitor didn't even get a chance to sing. I could have been the worst singer in that room. I would have gotten a job. It's just their excuse to keep me here at their side. But you're not the worst singer here. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You kept saying it to yourself that there was no doubt that we would win. But Astrid, if Lady Astrid is the one who loves you so much, why not just challenge her to a duel? Not what you did with Savannah, a replication of the contest on a small scale. I'm sure tonight will agree to act as a judge. I stand up to give Akhet a positive look. That's not a bad idea. Sure, it won't be exactly like winning the contest, but at least I'll be able to prove that I deserve my place. I smiled at the fact before giving him a little nudge on the shoulder. It looks like you're not as dumb as you look. I'm not sure that's a compliment. Shh. It is, just accept it. A slight weight is suddenly lifted from my shoulders. The situation still isn't perfect, but far from it, but at least I have a way to make it better now. That said, there is still something else the bird can do for me. I can't answer a question only if I can ask you one in return. I guess that's fair. I take a deep breath before I ask, based on his reactions to subjects before I doubt this will be a pleasant conversation, but I'm too curious and a bit anxious. I need to know. How did you come to my defense against Gillian? Thank you, by the way, that really means a lot to me. But there's one word it doesn't, but there's one word I didn't understand. What does silent mean? Cat freezes the more I say the word, a frightened expression on his face. He then looks away as he caresses the gold bars of his eye again. I don't have to tell you. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but no, you have the right to know. You'll find out eventually anyway. Just promise you. Just promise me you won't hate me afterwards, please. Give me a plain look, and there's only one possible answer to that. Of course, I promise. It can't be that bad. I don't know. I know that Fosters react when we bring up slavery. Nothing really surprising per se. Pretty much everything in the cat is connected to slavery in some way or another. I gave the cat a encouraging look, letting him continue at his own pace. He then points to one of the gold lines under his eyes. It's kind of an nail. Everyone makes you a mutad. 2. Aside 3. A water. It's called a nail. Everyone makes you a mutai. 2. A Sayed. 3. A water. I don't know any of those words. Let's say that it's simply our own ability, if you will. The Watir are the few families that can be elected to the throne. The Mutai are the slave-owning citizens. In Sayed, they are the 6 families responsible for capturing, training, and selling slaves. I am a member of the Sayed Bahad. We specialize in artistic slaves, singers, actors, painters. I send speeches unable to answer. A cat, a slave trader, I'm sure he'd fall apart if I yelled at him a little loudly. I can't imagine him selling Africans. Besides, he's one of the nicest people I know. And slavery is just wrong. I don't see how else to put it. The idea of totally owning someone else have absolute control over their lives, it disgusts me. The idea of totally owning someone else, having absolute control over their life, it disgusts me. Eric, say something please. I look deep into Akhet's eyes. He is desperate. I can sense the fear we ejected him running through his body. Have you ever saw anyone? I need to know. I can't reconcile the image I have of a falcon with that for slavery. No, my father is from a secondary branch. We were just tasked with training the slaves and breaking the newcomers. And you participated in all this? My brothers are direct heirs. They're the ones in charge of it. I get. Father taught me how to use my brain against the slaves, how to block a person's breathing, and how to leave them on the edge of consciousness. And then they brought in a new slave, a zebra. They tied him up and I swear I didn't want to, Eric. I begged my father. I did everything I could. But he was going to rip my nails off. And he told me that if I didn't obey, I'd be in the next shipment. And he burst into tears, unable to contain himself any longer. By the gods. My father would do this to his son. Not understanding Akhet's reaction to be to confront with someone who is aggressive. If this is how he was raised, this is the kind of behavior he must have exhibited all his life. He is not crying in front of me, unable to string two words together. And here I was, feeling sorry for not winning the contest the way I liked it. Next to that, it seems ridiculous now. I placed myself in front of Akhet and left my forehead against his, and I think to myself that this position began to become quite familiar as my eyes seek his. Hey, I'm still here for you, okay? I'm really sorry you had to go through this. No one should be forced to act this way. I'm a monster. I caused so much pain. You're not a monster, Akhet. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you that you didn't do anything wrong. We both know that's not true. But this isn't something you wanted to do. You were forced into it. That doesn't excuse everything, but you regret it clearly. None of this makes you a monster, just an implicant who did something wrong and would never do it again. I know you're not a bad person, Akhet, so for me, try to think that about yourself too, okay? I can hear the bird sniffling as he continues to sob softly. I don't think there's much more I can do. There's no one to forgive him. The best I can do is be there, show him my support. That's often what I need when I'm consumed with guilt, not to be alone. I don't know how long we stay like this, but Akhet eventually pulls his head back, and I lift mine, offering him a small smile. So you don't hate me? No, I don't. I'm afraid you're going to have to do worse than that. He attempts a brief laugh, followed by a snort. He's not over it, but it's getting better. I'll take that as a victory. But it's time to try to distract him a bit. Well, I think I've annoyed you enough. Now it's my turn. My turn to do what? And now it's your turn. My turn to do what? To ask me a question. That was our agreement, right? Oh, I don't know if it wasn't really that important. I think talking about something else for a bit would do us some good. Go ahead. I was wondering, you mentioned someone named Viggo at one point. Can you tell me who that is? I had to struggle to keep my smile on. Did I really say that name, did I? Did I mention Viggo without realizing it? Stay calm, keep your breathing slow. Don't let Akhet see how much this affects you. He was my musician, Skarner, a lute player, just like you. He destroyed the sword as soon as possible. Don't give too many details. He was also my best friend. When I left, he chose to stay. I haven't been able to see him since. Huh. Yeah, he chose, like I gave him any choice at all. There's not much more to say. It's been 6 years since we've seen each other, so I guess he's moved on with his life. I hope so. Anyway, he deserves a good life. Well, I'm sorry. Don't you miss him too much? I eventually got used to it. Then I found another musician. Let's say that one's probably the best. And we got Akhet. He laughed softly in response. Gods be praised. The mood in the room seemed to have improved greatly. But you look like him. You know a lot. I thought you had never seen a falcon before. I didn't mean physically. Falcon's a fox. It's just you remind me of him. That's all. And is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's a good thing. I hope so anyway. We then spent a little time discussing things, mainly about the consequences of the contest. Babylon seems to have spent most of the time I spent asleep trying to hold back foreign dignitaries and limit communications. I highly doubt it worked. As Akhet telling me about the audience's reactions after my blackout, I found myself closing my eyes and losing the thread of the discussion several times. Eric, I think you're still tired. I spent a whole day sleeping. Don't be stubborn. You're injured. You're allowed to rest, and you have your first training sets tomorrow. I lay out alongside as I collapse on my bed. I guess you're right. I hope to see you tomorrow. I haven't forgotten that we still need to explore the city together. Are you sure you still want to do that? Of course, it would take our minds off it. Given my best grin, I really think getting out of the castle for a bit will do us both good. A far wave of the hand, I get into the room and I sink my snout to my pillow. I guess a little nap won't hurt me, but I doubt I'll be able to sleep very well. Who knows about door again? Seriously, I only just closed my eyes. Anyway, I'm officially injured and recovering. Eric, you have an appointment at the temple in less than half an hour. I've come to escort you there. Appointment? What is he talking about? I don't have a scheduled training session until tomorrow morning. Oh shit. I'll be right there, just a minute. Looks like Akhet was right. I really need sleep. A little too much for my taste, actually. I quickly get dressed before I glance in the mirror. I really do look like crap, and the bruise on my eye doesn't help. I wish I had time to conceal it, but I doubt I'll be able to. I really don't like the idea of going out like this. I finally open the door, find myself face to face with the fennec I saw yesterday. Finally, someone who doesn't tower over me by a head. Hello, lady. Simi. Good morning, Eric. Are you ready? I'm afraid we're a bit of a hurry. Yep, we can leave. Let's go to the temple and learn how to use all this stuff. Hopefully I'll learn how to go back in time and I can win the contest, become a royal bard, and live a happy life. Simi raises an eyebrow, giving me a surprised look. She already won. What need do you have to participate in the contest again? I may have received a title, but I didn't win, not really. What good is a title if I didn't truly earn it? Interesting. He turns around and walks down the castle's corridors of one of the crowded ones. Like, what? That's it? Not even a comment response? Please tell me this isn't a lay Akhet. I'm going to have to hold the whole discussion by myself, otherwise. Eric, keep up with me. Yeah, I'm right behind you. I'm going to snap. She hasn't said a word since we left the castle. I'm never going to be able to keep this up. A whole 15 minutes of being silent. Impossible. Lady Simi, can I ask you a question? You can always ask, but I can't promise an answer. I expected to be accompanied by a guard, but you're not one, are you? No, I'm not. So, what are you exactly? She lets out a sigh before answering. I'm a maid in the service of King Lusk. His maid? I stay by his side, helping him with his tasks and supporting him as much as I can. Oh, kinda like a helper, right? I guess that's one way to look at it. Is that the job you were doing, Akhet? No. Her tone suddenly cold and harsher. I had to restrain myself from slapping my forehead. Of course he doesn't want to talk about Akhet. There are mostly two types of Akhetian in Phosphate after all, visiting nobles and runaway slaves. She's clearly not one of the nobles. Sorry, I didn't mean to. If you really want to know what my people's lives are like, just ask the Science who's with you. No doubt he knows the details. Akhet? I don't think that's a good idea. He has nothing to do with this, not anymore. He sighed. He will remain so. They can't change their nature. They are cruel, selfish, and perverse. Akhet is not like that. I won't let you talk like that about a friend of mine. A friend, really? When you know who he is? Tell me, Eric. What does that tell me about you? That like you, I don't judge others on their origins, but on their actions. I know Akhet. He's a good person. I know the side, up close and personal. There's not one better than the other. It's only a matter of time before yours show his true colors. She's really starting to piss me off. I can't imagine what she's been through, and I can obviously understand her hatred for the slavers. But she never taught to Akhet. She has no idea who he is, how he thinks. He came here precisely because this is what he didn't want to become. I'm about to answer her when she starts to find me. We have a wife, so Vo and I'll take care of you. The priest of Gawain, who was at the contest, himself. Should it be the priest of the forgetful ones who takes care of me? No, priest of the forgetful ones. I'm afraid I don't know him. To be honest, I'm not sure he exists. I ran into him when I came to the temple during my first days here. Are you sure he wasn't the priest of another god, or maybe a crook? I don't necessarily always pay attention to what's going on around me, but still, I'm pretty sure I didn't hallucinate while I counted. A guy dressed in blue from head to toe, it's hard to forget. As I'm about to answer her, I'm interrupted by a deep voice echoing from the temple entrance. Lady of Simi, as always, it's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, pleased to meet you personally. The boy is standing in front of the entrance, arms crossed behind his back, watching both of us. Sir Vo, King Lust would like to apologize for forcing you to take on this extra work and hope that it does not upset your own plans too much, given the sensitive nature of the situation. Please reassure our king that I will not hold it against him. And hello from me too, so you're the one who's going to teach me how to use this thing. I point to my back. The priest just gives me a quick glance. Something tells me this isn't exactly the heaven-far-alone kind of teacher. Indeed, I think the next few days will be enlightening for both of us. See someone's brimming with enthusiasm. Follow me. Are we going to in the temple? We are not soon to our wildlings village. The kingdom has specialized spaces available for blind training. Blah blah blah. We're not soon to our wildlings village. Who does he think he is? I have a feeling we're not going to get along. Fortunately, the training grounds are not too far away, and indeed I can see why training here will be easier. It's a long one-story building that borders a large open space which is divided into 4 separate fields bound by wooden fences. Each of these fields offers a different environment suitable for one or more types of plants. One of them is simply a square of land with nothing else on it. There are 2 people on it right now, a snow leopard and another fitting. The other field looks very familiar to the first one, but there are several blazers spread around the area, probably to help new firebrand barrels. The third is a pool of water at its center, and the last is a simple garden where several people are playing what I assume are seeds under the supervision of a priest. Enough to allow the training of all types of plants, well, at least those related to an element. Gentlemen, if you'll forgive me, I think I see my grandson training. Of course, Lance and me. I will send you the rabbit once we're finished. Hey, I have a name, you know. Forgive me. He doesn't really look sorry. Quite the contrary. I wonder what I did to piss that one off. As the Simon leaves, Vo leads me to one of the doors of the main building, taking us past several rooms, some with their doors open. Peeking into one of them, I can see Africans cutting boards as carpenters would. Then another, a clash between armored warriors takes place. I wonder what all this has to do with learning how to use plants. Finally, we enter a small room with a series of chairs and desks, a study room, I guess. I leap into the first chair I come across, while Vo remains standing in the center of the room, expanding me up and down again. Good. Here, we will do without all the lore and other courtesies of that sort. You are here to learn, and I'm here to teach. That's the only status that matters. Understandable, I offer him a big grin, to which he responds with his usual death stare. I have a feeling we're going to have a blast together. Alright, now take off the shirt, please. What? Why now? You could buy me a drink first. You intend to respond to every one of my remarks with subordination. To be perfectly honest, it's quite likely it will happen again. Roll this out alongside. I simply wish to see your plan, so take off the shirt and show me your back now. Okay, alright. If we can't even joke anymore. I finally obey, present my bare back to the priest. The latter then slowly follows the lines of my back with one of the fingertips, making me shiver in the process. Fascinating. Honestly fascinating. I suppose there is no chance that this is a known brand and this is misunderstanding. No chance at all. I've never seen anything like it. I feel like it changes shape slightly every time I stop looking at it directly. It's good to know I'm not the only one seeing this. For a while there, I thought this thing was driving me crazy. Talk about your brand with more respect. It's a gift from the gods. I didn't ask them for anything. Well, not for that specifically. Are you not honored with that? Are you not honored with what you have received? I paused for a moment. I don't know, actually. I haven't really had time to settle down thinking hard about all that's involved. I'm happy to finally have a plan, obviously, but to have NeveNs, it means a lot of different things. I'm unique now. There's only one person in the world who can do what I do, and that's me. But it's not something I work for. I didn't do anything to earn it. It's just there. I don't know. I always wanted to be famous for people to know my name. But I wanted to be famous to my own merits. I worked for years on my singing to be the best, and all of a sudden I'm chosen to NeveN. No matter what I do, no matter what other qualities I have, I will always be what's the most interesting in me. It will always be what's the most interesting about me. I don't see what difference it makes. This brand is a gift from NeveN, but it's part of you. It's up to you what you want to do with it. It's a tool to use and to respect. You're the only link to NeveN. But what you do with that link is entirely up to you. That's why we're here, to guide you to the wisest path. The wisest path according to whom? According to God's, obviously. That's convenient. The priests are the only ones who know how to interpret the divine wills. But these discussions can wait. Today let's think practical first. What exactly do you know about the use of a brand? And make some light and stuff happens. I guess that's one way to look at it. But it's actually a little more complex than that. A brand can have 3 different states. It leans over showing me the brand on his white arm. Of course, I can see that the metal covering it has been poured directly onto the flesh, and it's not exactly a pleasant sight. I really wonder what happened. It's clearly not an accident. My brand is dormant for now, as is yours. I'm not using its power. However, I can awaken it. I still won't use it directly, but if I need to, I can cause power and much faster than if it were still dormant. Beneath the metal lines, I can now see a faint bluish light escaping as they're trapped under the steel rectangles on Vo's arms. And finally, I can activate my brand. It's in this state that I can directly use its power. The light on his arms intensifies again, while the steel on his brand vibrates slightly. Then he pulls a stone from his pocket, making it float slightly above his palm. Once in front of my muzzle, the stone contorts, changing shapes and sharpening before returning to its original form, slowly settling in Vo's hand. The latter deactivates his brand before looking at me with a satisfied expression. Nice trick. He is indeed a mere artifice for the most fervent Gawaiian's brand. I could not be the high priest if I did not achieve much more than thought. I suppose so, but that doesn't explain the metal covering the brand. This metal is simply a symbol of the pact between Orga and Gawaiian. Every piece of work coming out of my forces does directly directly marked by the gods guaranteeing its quality blessing object. Okay. Obviously he takes his job as a priest and blacksmith very seriously. I hope he's not planning on making me a cleric of some sort because that's really not my thing. But let's get back to our lesson. Do you understand the three states of your brain? Dormant, awake, and active. It's not very complicated, that said. You didn't explain how I go from one to the other. For that, we will have to start by finding your awakening gesture. My awake what? You've seen other people use their brains before. Beginners or those who don't use the gift of the gods much need help activating it. In this case, they need a particular movement. It's called the awakening gesture. It is usually a relatively simple gesture related to your daily life or personality that allows you to initiate the awakening of your brain. I never really paid attention to it, but now that I think about it, I think I see what he's talking about. Ringo always tends to slap his chest before activating his brain. Seeing Erwin scratch his every now and then before spitting flames. As an example, here's my awakening gesture. Not that I need it anymore. He places his left hand on one of the tables before picking up his hammer. What is it? Oh gosh, no, don't do that. He then raises his hammer. The hammer slams it on the back of his paw. Immediately the light of his brain is visible. By the gods, you're out of your mind. By NeveN. What? Your god chose you. Use his name. In that case, by NeveN, you're a lunatic. His face expressing no pain or discomfort. It almost looked like nothing happened. I ran into the resident madman. I was absolutely brilliant. It had to land on me. If he thinks I'm going to start hitting myself with a hammer, he can stick his arm up his. It's not just I chose. Is it your daily life or your personality that defined it? It just simply represents the sacrifices I'm willing to offer in honor of the gods. A little pain is nothing in exchange for their gifts, and the priest of morality can heal me anyway. Well, thank you, but that's not for me. Pain is not my thing. Well, unless they tie me to a bed first. But I'll keep that one to myself. Something tells me he's not possessing that kind of humor. I figure such. Your gesture is probably something you already do on a daily basis anyway. So what? I spend my time killing all kinds of gestures to see. So what? I spend my time trying all kinds of gestures to see if anything happens. Not just any gesture, something that is part of your daily routine. Some people awaken through their jobs, others through warrior deeds. But the awakening gesture itself will not be enough. Focus on your brain. Test it with your mind. It's part of you. It's part of you now. Find a way to reach it. No worries. Give me 10 minutes and we shall continue this lesson. We'll see about that. Male little faith. Well, faith in me anyway. Instead of being that hard after all, we just need to find something I do a lot with my brain and mind. I close my eyes and focus. I've only really seen my brain once, but its image is etched in my mind. Slowly, I see the intersecting circles appearing clearly before me. But there's something wrong. It's as if something is missing. Think about a sudden burst of inspiration and set the circles in motion, extremely slowly. So much so that I only notice their movements if I pay attention to them for a few seconds. But with that said, that's my brain. Take a deep breath in and slowly and diligently as possible move my ears and shake my hips. What are you doing? You told me to try gestures that are familiar and represent my personality, and that's all you came up with? You'd be surprised at how much I dance. I'd rather not know. Obviously, this isn't your awakening gesture. Try something else. And that's exactly what I do. For a good 10 minutes, I try absolutely every gesture that comes to mind. I wink, I wave, I bow. I even tried to give a good old-fashioned smack on my ass just in case, but there's nothing I could do to activate my brain, not even the beginnings of a light that I really thought I'd find in no time. It looks like it's much more complex than you thought. I'll figure it out. No one figures it out on the first day. It's even possible that you've made the right gesture already. You're just not used to your brain enough yet, but it will come. So what? I quit. We start again tomorrow? That probably would be a good idea, yes, but we won't try again tomorrow. What? Well, me again in 3 days. You can keep searching alone in the meantime. So, that's it? For today, yes. However, since you managed to awaken your brain, do not activate it. Why not? You wouldn't want to repeat the mistake of what happened to the contest, would you? No, I don't want to. Well then, you should go back to Lady Simi. She will escort you back to the castle. We'll see each other in 3 days, trying to find your awakening gesture by then. I'll find it by the end of the day. We'll see. This guy seems so enthusiastic that he would make a rock look like a living being. He were there, and he was standing next to it. As I found Bo, the priest, I walk out of the classroom to meet Simi at the edge of the dirt practice field. She's leaning on the fence, carefully watching the young Finnick in the center of the field, her grandson, I suppose. With him is a snow leopard, bare-chested, which I'm not going to complain about holding a bucket in one paw and what appears to be a cloth ball in the other. I sat next to Simi, curious about what's going on. So how did it go? I didn't achieve anything, but I managed to not piss full off. I'm still alive, so all in all, I'd say that's a win. That's one way to look at it. Her attention is focused on the field as the feline throws his ball in the direction of the fence. The lad hits the ground with his foot and a pillar of earth rises to intercept the projectile before collapsing. So, he is your grandson, right? Precisely. Hostile wishes to become a guard, so I asked Rowan to do me a favor and train him a bit. Rowan? The snow leopard, he is a guard at the castle. I look closely at the feline, squinting to try to remember him. He vaguely looks familiar. Perhaps I must have passed him without realizing it. Meanwhile, he continues to throw the balls from his bucket towards the fence, faster and faster, while moving to various angles of his throw. The fence earthen pillars are getting thinner and thinner, some nearly collapsing before the ball even hits them. So finally the projectile cuts through where it's now nothing more than a line of dust crashing into hostile snout. Honestly, if this is what training for a brand of Gorain looks like, I'm ready to become a teacher. I like to throw things at people's heads too. I don't know if aiming at the head was really necessary. Come on, it's not that bad. It's just fabric. I guess you're right, but my little hostile seems to be doing just fine. That's a good sign. I haven't had a chance to really see a brand go on. And better yet, I guess it's good. I guess it makes it a good seal. Oh, I can do a lot more. Well, I can do a lot more than that. But hostile has always preferred to protect than to. But hostile has always preferred to protect than to hurt. Maybe tradition, I guess. She smiles fondly as the two men come our way. She looks like a grandmother, proud of her grandson like that. But I know there's more to it than that. Grandma, what are you doing here? Is that a way to greet your family, hostile? I mean, I'm pretty glad to see you, obviously. I just didn't expect to see you here, that's all. Well, it's a total coincidence. I wasn't expecting you to be here either. I was merely accompanying this fine young man. Ooh, so that's the one the boss keeps talking about. Well, the snow leopard comes closer and leans against the fence, giving me a big grin. The boss? Yeah, Captain Gillian. You know, tall, moody, and constantly locked in his armor. Rowan, that's no way to talk about your superior. The leopard then turns to Semi, bowing her head while extending his right paw in her direction. A green glow then appears at his left thigh, glowing under his clothing as a rose slowly grows on his palm to be offered to the Fennec. Okay, I'll admit it. It's kind of sweet. I'm sure it brings him a certain amount of success with the ladies. Forgive me, Lady Sime. May this rose offered to the most beautiful lady in the kingdom serve as a policy? Oh, you flatterer. There's no flattery in my words, but simply truths. By NeveN, I don't know how long I'm going to do this, calling this. I want my eyes to know that I'm not the only one who is appears hostile seems to say my opinion on the situation from the look on his face. We have saved a brief glance before nodding on sheer awkwardness, binds us together immediately. You better save those compliments for your wife. How's Mala? Your granddaughter is doing well, Simi. The pregnancy is nearing its end, so for now she's mostly spending a lot of time resting and complaining. Oh no. Please don't. They're all family. Don't call me here with a grandmother checking up on everyone. I won't be able to bear it. Grandma, we're not alone. I'm not sure the Reverend needs to hear our family gossip. I solemnly thank Hasso from the bottom of my heart. You are my hero, my savior, and will write songs in your honor. I better be polite though. Oh, don't worry about me. I can wait a little while until you have finished discussing your wish. No, Hasso's fine. That would be rude of me. Not to mention that you're probably a lot more interesting than anything I have to say. It's not every day you meet the chosen of a forgetful one after all. So if you can forgive my curiosity, what exactly can you do with your plan? Well, to be honest, right now, not much. I can't even get it to awaken. I've often wondered if a plan, especially yours, would be more complicated to awaken, or if it would go fast. If you listen to the old legends, they are very exceptional people. Hey, I'm exceptional, just not in the way he thinks. Is it normal to fail to control it at first? Of course, I didn't get to awaken my plan until a good week after I received it. That's good to know. I was a little worried that I would be slower than usual. I'm sure you will manage to use your brain quickly, Eric. Or is one of the best teachers in the temple, if not the best. Really, that's not necessarily the impression he gave me at the moment. I tend to learn quickly. Anyway, it shouldn't take very long. But I hope so. Like Bo said, it's probably now. I just have to learn how to use it. The rest of the day passes quickly. We stay near the training grounds for a bit, chatting, before finally heading back to the castle. I suddenly find myself lying on my bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to analyze what happened the last few days. The contents of my brain and everything that followed is not exactly what I imagined. And even less what I wanted. But I don't really have anything to complain about, I guess. I just have a new tool to master, and who knows what I'll be capable of once I do. I thought to interrupt by someone knocking on my door. Who is there? It's Akhet. Akhet, come in, it's open. I wanted to sit on my bed as Falcon enters the room and settles down next to me. I just wanted to check that everything went well. Depends on the definition of going well, I guess. What do you mean? I didn't get anywhere. I'm pretty sure my teacher is best said crazy. But other than that, it went well. Crazy. I take the deepest voice I can while trying to imitate Bull's posture. It's an honor to suffer for the gods. Look at me smashing my hands with a hammer. Blah blah blah. I'm telling you, the guy is just nuts. Are you sure this is a good idea? Keeping him as a teacher? That's right. He didn't try to convince me to do the same. And then Simi said he was one of the best trainers in the kingdom. I guess he knows what he's doing. Simi. Lust me, remember the Fennec who came to my room yesterday? Oh, her. I don't think she likes me very much. Shit, I forgot about that. I don't know if explanation will help him or make him feel even more guilty. But he has right to know. But he has the right to the truth. It's not really your fault. She's a former slave, and she has every reason to be suspicious of her science. She just doesn't know you. I know you're not like those flavors. I put my paw on the father's shoulder, squeezing it gently. These last few days haven't been easy for him either. Maybe I changed the subject would do him good. Unfortunately, the day provided exactly what I needed. Oh, by the way, I need to find my awakening gesture that I'm getting a little stuck on ideas. What's yours? This might help me. Or, I don't know if it'll really help you. It's something personal, and it's something personal after all, and I'm sure it won't be the same for you at all. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm really curious. And you're really trying hard to keep me from seeing that party. Now I want to know. You promise not to make fun of it, okay? It's just something I used to do when I was real little. You promise I'll keep it a secret. I promise I'll keep it a secret. He lets out alongside before raising his right hand in front of his face, forming a circle with two claws. He blows gently into the resulting circle as the point of his shoulder begins to glow. I don't see why he made such a big deal out of it. I'm expecting something much more ridiculous than that. I don't see any reason to make fun of it. Really, just consider it very childish if I can. It seems to keep blowing soap bubbles was you're not a kid anymore. Is that what you were doing? Mother loved when I blew bubbles for her. She really loved to see them dance in the air and glowing with all kinds of colors. When I got my brain, I thought I could keep doing that to make her happy, especially since I can manipulate the winds. But I didn't feel the same way. You know, the more time passes, the less I like your father. That guy sounds like a big asshole to me. I can't give him a horrified look. What? You shouldn't talk like that about the elders ever. If the elders are cunts, I'm not going to be sad about saying so. My father forced you to do horrible things and deprive you of the joy of life. As far as I'm concerned, he can go join mine and fuck off. I can't continue to look at me with the same expression for a few moments, and I wonder if I pushed a little too far for him, given the series of discussions we had during the day. He eventually burst out laughing in front of me, though. I'm totally lost. I think this is it. I brought the bird. He's done. Sorry, it takes him a little while to get his act together while I give him a puzzled look. Is everything okay? Yes, I just wasn't expecting to hear that. It's definitely not something that would be okay to say in Akhet. I don't know if it's exactly okay to say it here either, but hey, this is just between us. I can say what I have in mind. I don't think I'll be able to talk like that even if it's just the two of us. There's nothing to hold you back. It's fine. Go ahead and insult your father. I don't know if I can do it for me. It would make me happy. I can't take a deep breath before looking me in the eye. My father's a scoundrel. There, see? You can say what you want about him. Well, we'll have to work on your insults, but it's a start. A big grin on our faces, we enjoy a brief moment of silence. Wait, what do you mean? You'll have to be a bit more specific. When you said my father could join yours. Oh, that. Not much, really. My father left when I was 2. He walked out the door one morning and never came back. I guess he had better things to do than take care of a boy like me. I'm sorry about that. And I don't really care. I never needed him anyway. We always managed to get by with Gramps. Still, it couldn't have been easy. I managed to get through it without getting too fucked up. That's all that matters. And I'm really happy about that. I don't know where I would be without you. Probably turn to an icicle on the side of the road. I stick my tongue out at him, amused as he comes closer and nudges me right in the ribs. Hey, easy there. I'm still recovering. Oh, sorry. I hope I didn't hurt you. No worry. I was just kidding. I give her a wink before I hear someone knock on my door. I don't remember if I was sat in my room. Are you expecting someone? No, not that I know of anyway. Who's there? Neighborhood. I didn't expect him to come, so I get up to open the door, curious as to what the bear might want from me. Forgive me, but you look absolutely exhausted. Whose fault do you think it is? I've been running around for 2 days trying to control the repercussions of your brand's appearance. Sorry. I'll be sorry. It's not. I know it's not really your fault, but that's part of why I'm here. What do you mean? Tomorrow the council's going to decide. The council's going to meet in the afternoon to decide, well, honestly, to decide what to do with you. You're invited to attend. I would like you to come to my quarters during the morning to prepare you for what's about to happen and to advise you on how to behave. Someone telling me this is essential. You're going to decide my future just like that? Your brand is potentially a destructive weapon, Eric. You single-handedly challenge the balance of the kingdom. We need to make a quick decision on who knows what might happen. My life as a simple boy is over, right? But now I'm afraid so. And believe me, I'm really sorry about that. I'll come by in the morning. Oh, and you should rest. You look like you're about to collapse. That's the plan. Have a good day, Eric. Get some rest too. You're going to need it in the next few days. I'll try. Thanks for all this. The bear waits for me before leaving as I slowly close the door. Eric, are you okay? I don't know, Akhet. My fate is in the hands of the council over which I have no real influence. They might decide to lock me up in a cell for the rest of my life, for I know. I don't think they'll do that. The kings don't seem that cruel. I hope you're right. I glanced around my room. A sudden tiredness strikes me, but I don't feel like being alone. Akhet, would you mind spending the night here? I'd like some company if you don't mind. Oh, I can do that, sure. Do you want me to get another mattress? No need, my bed is wide enough for both of us, and if you're worried about it, rest assured I won't try anything. I never doubted it, Eric. He smiles at me as I sit next to him. Many things aren't so bad after all. I still have a cat by my side. That counts for something. We continue. Hey everyone. This is where the first chapter focuses on Akhet ends. We hope you enjoyed the beginning of this first part of the story. Speaking of brothers, the poll to see who is your favorite character has been closed, and it turns out that Akhet is in the lead tied with Akhet. Melbourne is in third place and Porter not fails this last, so it seems that some effort should be made when it comes to him. If you want more information about NeveN, feel free to follow us on Twitter. We also have a Discord allowing you to chat among community members. If you would like to support our project, we also have a Patreon that offers you a series of benefits such as bills 2 weeks in advance, but also unique stories about the characters in NeveN. If you like the VM, please also feel free to rate us on itch.io. It will help us a lot. Once again, a huge thank you to everyone, and see you in a month for the first chapter of NeveN.